Tailahi to you all and welcome to Pasifika Wire. This morning on our podcast, we are very privileged to be speaking to one of our leaders in the Tokelau community, Lise Hope Suveinakama. I hope I pronounced that correctly, Lise. Now, Lise is, of course, of Tokelau heritage. She is the director of Olotia Consulting Limited. With an extensive background in the legal sector, she's worked with Pacific Law Firm in Newmarket in Auckland. She was also the senior legal advisor for the government of Tokelau, also the national coordinator for women, and also the judicial system. She's joining us today live here. We say very good morning, Maloni Lise. So great to talk to you.
Maloni Gladys. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity. What a privilege, Nike. Especially, as we're about to complete the Tokelau Language Week. Today is the last day, so I am very grateful, to be here this morning to speak to you.
And Lise, first off, how are you? How's your family during this lockdown here in Auckland?
Oh, thank you. We are well. I think we've managed to cope. It hasn't been easy for the children, especially, working online, but so far we are good. And also our communities also, they have been coping very well.
Lise, I'll just give you this opportunity just to give a quick introduction of who you are, and if you want to do that in the Tokelau language, perfect.
Oh, Gladys. Maloni, Tokelau ko Lise Hope Suveinakama. Hakatalo hatu te malu Tokelau, kaya mai he nakakau nā te atua halong mai taimi tēnei. Ma Tokelau katoa nā takitaki o nā nuku. Kaya mai hukila vai ko Tokelau, te malu nā tau pulenga tono hoka mua, te malu hoka awau. Ma nā Tokelau, malele poko hela te konga halong mai ai koe. Ni ko Tokelau ko koto i loa, ko mātua ko Lise mahenua loa. Ko henua loa ko na mātua ko tangi mahini. Nā mātua o Lise ko te leo mahope. Ni ko au la, na ko wanga ko Judicial National e huiti ka ko hanau to ka lima ka loesi ko henua ko tawan vanua makalika matupuna ni ka matou lai e New Hila ko he to granddaughter ko nai mo e lahi nai ngoa, but I call her Grace ni so that's about me. He tai lahi lele ni ka talo atu te malu koutou, and good morning. He tai Gladys.
My Lord, Lise, and of course, like you said, wrapping up Tokelau Language Week today, coming to the end of the Vaiaho o te ngangana Tokelau. In your opinion, are you seeing in the Tokelau community, in particular youth, are they learning and maintaining the language? What are you seeing?
Oh, absolutely, Gladys. This is the second time that I have been taking part in the celebrating, in celebration of Tokelau Language Week. And this week, our community here in Auckland, the Mulihelu Atahu community, we had a Zoom session for 5 hours from 10 to 5 p.m. celebrating, online on Zoom with all our families all over. And I was, blessed and so amazed with our young people, our children. They all came on and introduced themselves in Tokelauan, and also, going to the extent of, giving their genealogy. They know their ancestors, where they come from, and who they are related to. So that was great to see, And also on Friday, I also joined the Hakauho Community Zoom, community group. I was also very blessed to see our young people taking part, and they, spoke in Tokelauan proudly and explaining to us who they are, and also the meaning of their names. Because our names in the Pacifica way, we have so many names, and our names have stories to them too. Yeah. So I think I am very proud, and as a mother myself of my children, I have been teaching my son to say the Lord's Prayer in Tokelauan, and also he got to say, to give an introduction of who he is. But there's a lot more that we can do, and I must do, because I want to make sure that my children speak Tokelauan fluently, because I can do that, and be proud of who they are, and be able to go to the community and connect. Not to be shy because they can't speak the language. So that is very important, Gladys. I hope I have answered your question.
Brilliant, Lihe.
Yes.
And as we've seen, my understanding is Tokelau was seen as an endangered language. So more than ever, we need to continue the growth, not just a week. It's not just confined to a week, is it, Lihe?
Absolutely, Gladys, and that's why especially now, I now live here in New Zealand, and I didn't. That's a part that I failed badly as a mother, Tokelauan mother, because I did not raise my children to speak Tokelauan, but I speak Tokelauan fluently. I'm a translator, both verbal and also written, but my children can't speak Tokelauan, so now I know I must teach them. I must teach them to speak Tokelauan, so they can continue to teach their children and also their children and their children. So I think that's now all the Tokelauan parents are held to task by their children, but also I'm grateful to MPP and the government of New Zealand for the funding they are making available for our communities to utilize this funding to teach and engage our community, especially our young people. They are our future, and our language must survive. And we have a responsibility as parents, as communities.
And speaking of communities, Lihe, you are a strong advocate for the Pasifika community. I've seen a lot of work that you've done online promoting the vaccination, of course, with this global pandemic, with the Tokelau community. What are you seeing out there? Our community getting out there and getting vaccinated?
Yes, Gladys. It's. I know. I'm sure the numbers out there in terms of the per population. And I am so proud of the work that our people are doing, our leaders are doing in our communities. I'm a secretary to the Atahu community, and also too I'm a member of the Atahu Aukilani Tokelau Society Incorporated, and also too as a Tokelau and everywhere. Yeah, we've been meeting in the last several months, the leadership Tokelau leadership group all over New Zealand, looking at the numbers, and also there's a concern that our numbers, the number for our people need to go high in terms of our people need to be vaccinated. And also during this week, we're so blessed to have Dr. Mary Toloa. She's a family GP from Porirua, and also a nurse, very a senior nurse, Katahope from Waitakere Hospital. So we had them on our program this week, and they spoke passionately about the vaccination, but also to that encouraging our people, they must they must take the vaccination. It is very safe, and it is for our safety too. And also to Kata Hoppet, talked about her practical experience, because she looked after the COVID patient, and that was an awakening session for our people, because it was so raw in terms of her experience, and watching the COVID patient died, and then also to holding their hands and everything. So our people, so we encourage our people, go and get vaccinated. And we've held one drive-through vaccination with other countries like Kiribati and Tuvalu last month, but also yesterday and today, our Tupulanga, our youth Tupulanga Association, Mahutanga Yaukilani, they also holding one at Mangele, at Mangri, at the Mataliki preschool at the car park. Yesterday, today, these are all our effort to encourage our people, especially our young people, to get vaccinated. We must get the COVID-19 vaccination because it is safe, and we must, we should not leave our people behind, especially our young people. We need to take part and be responsible to save New Zealand and save us and our neighbors. So that is the message, yes. So I believe so that our people are getting vaccinated, and our numbers, I believe so, will increase.
Lihe, are you hearing any concerns from the community? Are there people who maybe are a little bit unsure about getting the vaccination? Are you able to talk to these people?
I've heard there are some in our community, some elderly, people.
Okay.
And young people too. Like we have been all vaccinated. One of my my sons, he didn't want to get vaccinated, but as a mother, and I thank God, because I think that's where our culture comes in, because I said to him, as a mother, I'm telling you, you need to get vaccinated. And he's like 18 years, and he didn't want to, but at the end he listened. He said to me, because you're my mother, I obey you. So I know there are, and I think it's more that our people are not receiving the right information
Okay.
properly. That's why they have their concerns. And I know too that we've had made a lot of effort to translate the material, the information that we put out there for our people. And that's why we also get the expert like Dr. Mary Toloa, Kata Hope, and many others, Pacifica doctors and nurses, with all the meetings that we've been having, to get the information out there. Our people, they need not to fear. They need to, some ask about the adverse effect of vaccination. But it was good to hear Kata Hope talk about the adverse, effect of, getting COVID-19 or the Delta variant is far more severe. Far more severe, so this is the story that we are telling our people. Get vaccinated. It's more safer. We don't know how long the COVID is going to be out there, but these are uncertainty times for our people. So get the information, and we're trying our very best to get to our people. I guess it's just that fear and probably being influenced by some other people.
Sure.
And that's why. So sometimes, our people, sometimes our elders listen to their children, and sometimes, or to
Sure.
other people,
Yeah.
not us. And they just, yeah, but their concerns really, probably are just not knowing what will happen. But, we've got a lot of information out there to provide them the answers.
Sure.
Kahit tayo lahilele.
And Lihe, in your role as an advocate in terms of the legal sector, talk to us about your consultancy business, Olatia.
Thank you, Sister Gladys. I'm Tia Consulting Limited is very new in the making, and as a business person like yourself, when I completed my work with the government of Tokelau last year, and I was really deciding what to do. So I love being at home with my children because I used to travel a lot. So I thought, setting up a business for myself and using my experience and my skills, that is the best way to go. But I am learning a lot because I've never worked before as a businesswoman. And also too, you're right, I'm a lawyer, but I'm not yet practicing as a lawyer because I also need to, to meet the requirement here in New Zealand, to be able to practice. But there are things that I can do, like, I was wearing the hat of governance trainer too when I was back in Tokelau, coordinating and training our lay judges and our judicial officers, like our court clerks, but also to our members of parliament. So I'm using that, and also the language. I'm also a translator, and I'm also working to improve on that while I'm here. But those are some of the skills that I'm using. So I'm still very much in the making of my of volunteer consulting. Understanding the legal framework that I'm operating in,
Sure.
and also the COVID business. Environment that we are now in, and
Yeah.
understanding how to, to promote myself in this digital platform,
Yeah.
and also get to client. I haven't done enough marketing, my sister. So these are the things that I'm still learning. In terms of finding my real niche, in terms of my experience and skills, and reaching my customers. Who are they? Then also to how do I get them to and convince them to choose me?
Right.
And how can I make sure that I will meet their needs? Yeah, so I still have a lot to learn and do, but I'm excited.
It
I'm
is.
on
It's
my
really
way.
exciting. And I guess,
Mm.
you know, I'm new to the business world. It's definitely not something that I ever thought that I'd be going into. But like you said, you find that work-life balance, don't you?
Yes, yes, it's a whole new shift a
Yeah.
whole transformation in terms of the way I should think as a businesswoman compared to when I was as a public servant. And now I'm in charge of my company. I'm sitting in the driver's seat. I have to do all the work. So I'm learning too. I'm so blessed that I have a lot of mentors, a lot of destiny helpers that God has sent me. I have business mentors, I have law mentors, I have my family. I go to a very good, strong church. My pastor, and I've got Christian sisters and brothers who are also helping me. So I'm not alone in this journey, because I just want to make sure in terms of, as I said, I'm very early in terms of the making and the building the right structure for my company, and connecting and reflecting on my business plan, and also listening to my advisor, but most importantly to God, that I hear God in terms of, I keep telling my children, He is my business partner. God is my business partner, helping me.
Nice. Well, you can't go wrong with that business partner.
You're right. No, as long as I do my part, as long as I am diligent in terms of my role, in terms of, my business plan, I listen to my advisors, and I do my part. And that's the beauty of working with mentors like Sarah Jane Elika, from Elika Consulting Group. I also have Fatu Suisala from Pacific Business Trust, and also to my Christian sisters and brothers in Christ in my church, because they make you work. They give you the
Yeah.
advice, there, but I have to do the work. I have to come up with the business plan. I have to
Yeah.
do all the work, not them. So, if I go back to them, I have to make sure that I've done the work. So that's what I'm doing. I'm learning. I haven't done enough marketing, so I'm really happy, and hopefully I will do more of this. And also, it's when I do this, I challenge myself. Okay, I've said that, I've confessed it. I make sure that I follow through. And whatever challenges that I am encountering in this new environment, COVID environment, and this digital platform,
Yeah.
I must overcome. I must overcome, and I can. As you said, I have a great business partner, and that is our God.
Of course you can. And Lihe, for you as a Pasifika woman, that's even more empowering to see more of our Pasifika women taking that leap of faith to go into business. Not an easy thing to do, is it?
Oh my gosh, no. Gladys, when I arrived in New Zealand and I was trying to figure out what to do, and thinking that I have come here with a lot of experience. I've worked as a senior legal advisor for many, many years. I've done training and all that. Oh boy. But when I felt, when I enter and I started looking for work, I mean, the Pacific Legal, I'm not practicing as a lawyer. I'm working there as an intern, and also to because I can't work as a lawyer yet,
Sure.
and also to doing my goal is to do my own sole practice as a barrister, and I'm working toward that. And so it's not easy, because there are a lot of good people here, very experienced, very intelligent, and you come in as specific a woman like myself, coming from Tokelau. I know I worked with a small government, not a big population, so I have to learn a lot of new things, and I am still in the process. I'm still transitioning into this environment. I have to think differently. I have to be bold, and that's our point of difference. I love being a Christian, because now I know who I am in the Lord, and I said, God, you're going to help me to get there. It doesn't matter what I know, what I don't know, and who I know, but because I know it's not by might, not by my power, but by the Spirit of God that I can accomplish greater things. So like you said, Nisa, we are very new, and I've also I took a course. I was so blessed to be awarded to take an online the governance essentials online, because I went to one session, because I was also a governance trainer, but that was in Tokelau. I want to get involved more here in New Zealand.
Right.
So I'm, entering into
Sure.
new waters,
Yeah.
new zones in terms of getting out of my comfort zone and get in there, because there's no other way but to do it that way. We got to show that we can do it as Pacifica women, eh? We can do it. And that's what I keep telling myself. I keep declaring, confessing that I will make it. I am an overcomer, and I will succeed. Olatia Consulti will succeed in Jesus' name.
Indeed, and you can't go wrong there, Lihat. for you, what advice for people who are listening to this or watching this, what would you say to them if they're at a crossroads, trying to think about their next direction, where to from here during this global pandemic? What would you say?
I would really encourage anyone, because that's why I said before in terms of I have a very good support system around me, because you need as a Pacifica woman, as a woman who, know the Lord, that you're not alone. And you have a lot of destiny helpers around you. Use them, so if you have an idea, like how I said, I started my business, I had a vision, and I worked on that. I prayed about it. I asked God for direction, and then I got the help that I need. There was Pacific Business Trust, there was a legal consulting group, there's my church, my family, my community. So don't be afraid, because sometimes we think that, we look at ourselves, we look like, oh, this is what I know, this is what I have, what can I do with this? Oh my gosh. But the moment I realize what I have and who I am in the Lord and the people that are out there, I have a lot of good people around me. Surround yourself with those good people who believe in you, who listen to you, and who will advise you and teach you and empower you and encourage you. And I think for me, I love to work, I'm regulated. I know the framework now that I work within, and the people that I'm around with, the different dynamics, and also the business environment, and also my family. And I reflect on those things. I reflect on my business plan, and also I listen. So I think it's important. It's important also that you do those things. You start with your idea, you explore, and you get all the help that you need, and you also reflect on the advice that you receive, but more importantly, the advice that you receive from God. And also you listen and you act on those, that we must be doers, not just, we have a vision, we receive all the information, then we sit on it. No, I advise anyone who want to start a business, if once you receive your idea, act on it, pray about it, speak to people, and get the training and the help that you need, and work on overcoming, those things to get yourself started, and you will surely arrive there. So, sister, I'm still on my way to arriving there, but
Nice.
I am working out, building, and still constructing volunteer consulting, and also my other goals that I'm working on. But I certainly believe with the help of God that I will certainly arrive there. Thank you.
And arrive you have, Lihe. We are so grateful for this opportunity to talk to you this morning. We wish you all the best. Stay safe with you and your family and community. And we look forward to hearing more about Olotia. Lihe, the final word to you.
Kahetai lahileleni, Sister Gladys, to all our families, and everyone who are listening at the time today. I would just want to say a few words to the ngana Tokelau. Kahetai de aloha te tua, moheva no ngali vene, he hoi ngohi te hoi tala ki mua tangata kai, kon yava noa e ha oni matapena pe te tua. Kaula huia, we have no vene ko maua, ke lea tua iau ke kanga Tokelau, hio he konga ni uhila, peko hoi alam te la lange iai koe, malo taka maa keke, ko te tātou atua, ko he atua maa keke. Po he ala mai hau tau mahainga, veko taku tau mahainga, taku pihinihi e hai, ko au haka lango maka moe ki te aloha te atua. Ni awa ko tanga ngana Tokelau, ko tanga nuku, ko he koa, he mea aloha mai te atua, ke ola, ma tiu ai ki tā ua, peko he te konga iai koe te lau langi. Ke manui e Tokelau i te aloha te atua. Tohani Gladys, hetai lahi lele.
Thanks for listening. Visit our website at www.pacificawire.com. We welcome you to like us on Facebook, LinkedIn, follow us on Twitter, and you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. You can listen to the full podcast on Spotify. Whawhatai, mai ia manuia.